first of all, what is Business Source Ultimate? Business Source Ultimate is a online database. So there are different ones. Academic database with which you have access to actually most of the academic journals in which academic publications are published. And so this is Business Source Ultimate. There are other databases because Business Source Ultimate only publishes something around 80 to 9% full text of the academic articles. And I will show you now how to connect to this database. First of all, you have to go on your computer on the website of the UT1 Capitol, and there you put here access ENT, and which brings you then to this platform. You connect with your login from your email account UT1. This brings you then here on this platform. It's an online platform where you have also all about Moodle. So we have here Bibliothèque en ligne, which means library online. So you click here. And you see here you can access to the different libraries. We are interested in Économie Gestion, which means economy and management. But we are interested here in articles and journals. So articles et revues. So I click here, and you see we have a large amount of databases. And so here, the main tool you will work with is Business Source Ultimate, that you can see here. But you have also your Emerald, is publishing some journals. You have Google Scholar, GStore, it's another platform where you can find journals. Sage, Science Direct, so Springer Direct, which enables you to also look at books. And you have Willy Online. So all these are editors of academic journals. So it's a competitive market. That is why the journals have different contracts and different databases. That is why sometimes you might not find a journal on Business Source Ultimate, and then you might have a look on these other editors' website. But Business Source Ultimate, for I would say 80 to 90% of the cases, it's sufficient for you. So I would start to work with Business Source Ultimate. So I click on Access, and you click here Business Source Ultimate, and you are here in now in the platform. And here you can enter keywords. So go to the advanced research option. And now I would like to find, for example, articles about delivery drones. And you have here different options. You can make the search engine find you in the whole text, but then you will find a lot of different articles or publications. You can, if you know already an author, we'll try that later, you can find by author. You can reduce it to the title to be sure that you use only, or that you find only articles in which are really dealing with delivery drones. I would start to search in the title. So you can also make the research by the keywords. I would generally start in the title, because then you will find only articles, or we will filter out articles where the word delivery drone is used in the title. The engine is searching, and you see there are not a lot, only 141 articles which are published about the domain. So which shows that actually the topic's really new. Because generally, if you have established domains, let's take the example loyalty programs, you will see loyalty programs exist now for 30 years, and you will see I will have much more information. 1,300. So that is why there are different opportunities to reduce the number of articles, because now I have all articles, including non-academic articles. But you're interested in academic articles. So the non-academic articles are interesting to have an overview about the market evolution. You can use these articles to write an introduction. But what you're interested in is academic articles. And so I can reduce either by the time. And now I have, for example, 1959, but at that time, you probably won't find a lot of articles. So you might reduce to the period. You want to know what has been published between 2000, let's say the last 5 years, 2016 to 2021. And we reduce from 1,330 to 534 articles. So this is one way already to reduce the time. But for delivery drones or for disruptive technologies, you probably find the articles that were published in the last 2-3 years. Also, reducing the time span makes no sense. That is why you can reduce to scholarly peer-reviewed journals. That is academic journals. Journals which are journals in which researchers, because these are the qualitative important studies. And you see, I reduce now the number to 134 articles that have been published in the last 5 years in academic journals. Why should we use academic journals? And then I will show you have different options to reduce the number of articles. Academic journals are peer-reviewed. What does this mean? So the research we are doing is not published like that without any criticism. It is examined before by anonymous reviewers, which are from academia, professors, researchers, who will judge our work and will give us advice. And that is why the academic journals, only the best research is published. That is why for thesis or for any research work, we expect you to read academic journals. So one option is to reduce the number of articles through picking only scholarly peer-reviewed journals. You see that we reduced first the time span from 1,300 articles about loyalty programs. By focusing only on the last 5 years, we reduce the number of articles to 130. And now we can even reduce more. We only reduce to articles which are top job. Used generally in France, formerly CNRS ranking, or now we have the FNEGE ranking, but in Germany you have the VHB ranking. But all this is summarized in an over-ranking called Harzing ranking. And this will show you which are the journals you should focus on. So for example, in marketing, we have A journals or A+ journals, which are the best journals. A journals is, for example, International Journal of Research and Marketing, Journal of the Academy of Marketing Science, Journal of Retail and Consumer Service is a C journal, so it's an average journal, Psychology and Marketing. You have Marketing Science, which is the A+ journal, so absolutely top journal. Journal of Marketing and Journal of Marketing Research, which are absolute top journals. Journal of Business Research is a B journal, and now I will have from 134, I have found now 29. If I want to do a literature review about loyalty programs, I would now shrink the articles to read to 29 journals by selecting only academic journals and by selecting the best journals. And then you can see here's the full text. So you can download. If I click on PDF, I can now download the whole article on my notebook. And I can, if I wish, I can print it in a paper version. So this is the first thing. The second thing, I go back to the results. So you can see here keywords, already the title. Here, for example, synergistic and cannibalization effects in partnership loyalty programs or tier programs. This is an article about the different status you have in loyalty programs. So you have to read then the title to see if it's interesting for your research. But you can even go further. You can look into, if you click on that, you can look here and you have an abstract. So to see if the article is interesting for you, you can read the abstract instead of reading the whole article. And you can see already in the abstract, the summary, if this article is interesting for you. And you can see here also the keywords. You can see here that they're working on cannibalization. Do brands cannibalize themselves within these programs? Does this increase cross-buying? So in other words, if I buy, for example, in Smiles at Casino supermarket, do I buy also in Monoprix supermarket or in the Deutschland card? If I buy at Real, do I buy also at any other partner store in the program? You can already also have an overlook about what topics the article is dealing with. You can also, when you're writing a research work, you have to cite the authors. So those who already wrote a bachelor thesis or any other research thesis, you know that you have to do a bibliography at the end of the document. And generally, it's very time consuming if you do it at the end. If you do copy paste, it takes a lot of time. So we have now citation tools. This is also something which you should download in the future, in the next couple of days and weeks. For example, we have Mendeley and we have Zotero, which I will show you also in some instance. And yeah, to cite, you can export this article, direct export in RIS format, which can be used in a reference manager like, for example, Zotero and Mendeley, which are citation softwares. They are free, and you can download them on your computer. And there's an add-on which you can introduce in Word. And whenever you cite an author, then it will be done automatically with your citations. And you can also save directly. Here you can see there's a folder. This article is interesting for me. For example, this article is interesting for me, and this. So you put it in the folder. And then you see I have 3 articles here in my folder. I can export now these articles in the folder into my citation software. So instead of doing that individually, I can directly put them directly in my folder to export them. And I can also export them the PDF file on my computer. So this is a very convenient function. We talked about ease of use of digital tools. This is clearly a function that enables us to do things more easily, because you can add all the results directly in the folder. And now I go into my folder, and I will see there are all the articles that I have saved. And again, I can save them here for me in my citation software, or I can save them also in a Word format if I want to make a Word document. And I can export it here into my citation manager, like Zotero. Zotero, yes. There are other citation software. I would recommend you Zotero or Mendeley, because these are actually the most, they're free and the most used tool. So this is the first thing I would like to show you. Let's come back to our research engine. Let's come back to our example of delivery drones. Let's say all the text. If we put now delivery drones and all the text, we will find a large amount, 126 articles, because it will scan the articles within the article. But then we'll have much more information to cope with. That is why I would recommend to do it in the title, and then you make update. We might augment, say, from the year 2000, from 15, we are still at 15. So actually, all what was published about delivery drones happened in the last 5 years. And the journal quality is not so good. And I see there's no marketing journal. If I look here, transportation research. So the articles have been mainly published in transportation journals, transportation science, as you can see. Yeah, what is the first conclusion? Few is published. Now you have to put yourself to the position of a researcher. If you want to do a research, you want to publish, you want to do a contribution, and you want to add on research. So we see that very few has been published about delivery drones, which is the good news, because in this case, we can do a contribution because few has been published. We are new. It's like innovation. We can be the first to publish on delivery drones. We can have a pioneer effect by being the first to publish on the domain. And what we can see is there's only one journal here, consumer acceptance of delivery drones in urban areas. And we work on technology acceptance. So there's one article only dealing with that. That's good news, is that actually the contribution we can do is big, because nobody or only few people has published. Bad news, if you have a virgin domain topic where few people or few researchers have searched, it might be fantastic, but it might have a lot of pitfalls and traps in which you can fall because nothing has been published. And that's typically the case for disruptive technology topics. So for example, if I put here technology acceptance, so you can reduce the number of articles, again in the title, actually nothing. So I put to text. So we have actually 2 articles about technology acceptance of delivery drones. We have by chance the full text file. We can now access to the article. It's not a very well journal, but doesn't matter, because if there's nothing published, you can even read, or you should even read these articles which are not really the top journals. You can also find articles by author names. So you have to browse with the rubric author name, the author names, and can find the articles by author name if you have already identified relevant authors in your domain. For example, if you want to find my publications, here my name, and you will find all my publications. So you can see here actually personal privacy paradox, privacy issues, loyalty programs, big data, all which is related to CRM. Here is the article about chatbots, about the technology acceptance model. How to proceed if you find few articles, as for the example for the delivery drones. So you could do the following. As there are very few articles about delivery drones, now it is important to see what is similar to delivery drones. Perhaps we can have a look on delivery means and technology acceptance, because as we can see, there's only few research about drones. There's nothing. So you see, it might become complicated. As we do not find anything about delivery drones, now it might make sense to look at transport. Here, factors of acceptability and usage for non-rail autonomous public transport vehicles. It's a literature review. So it might perhaps make sense to look at articles that are a little bit analogous to drones. This is a mean of transport. And so what are the factors of acceptance for other means of transport? This is how I would proceed. Or, as delivery drones come into homes, perhaps it might make sense also to look at journals or publications that examine the acceptance of smart homes. We'll try again in the title. It might make sense to look at publications not about drones, because we do not find anything about drones. So it makes sense to look, for example, other means of transports or smart homes or autonomous vehicles, because they have also kind of safety risks. We want to know which might be all factors that influence drone delivery. And that's the only way to do that, to look at the literature, to find articles which might fit to that. So it's complicated for us to find. That is why we're struggling, and we have to help ourselves. We have to do improvisation. And improvisation is when we look now at other technologies, how they are accepted. Because our aim is now to understand the factors that influence drone deliveries. And the only way is to make comparisons to equivalent or similar technologies in order to see which are these technologies that might give us input to find the antecedents of drone delivery acceptance. Just one point: most articles are with PDF. So you have the full text. I will show you the chatbot article published in Journal of Service Research Management. But the problem is now, what do you do if an article is not available on full text? For example, here, my article in Psychology and Marketing is not in Business Source Ultimate. There are different options you can use. Either, as you can see the authors, and you have here the email address, you could write to the author and can ask him or her to send you the article. Generally, the authors and the professors are very open. So the easiest way would be, if you don't have the full text, try to Google and identify the author or authors and ask them to send you the full text. Another mean would be to go to the other databases, because Psychology and Marketing is Wiley. You see here the publisher is Wiley. And I can go back here to interface of the university, and Wiley Science Direct is here. I can try to find it on another platform. And I will try to identify this article now like that. Here's the article we are searching for. I click on PDF and I can download the article. For example, if we go to Science Direct now, with Science Direct, here, for example, my Journal of Business Research article or my autonomous car article is published by Science Direct. And you can download it not on Business Source Ultimate, but you can download it, load it on Science Direct. So I would recommend it to make it easy. Use Business Source Ultimate, and with that, cover around 80 to 90% of all publications which are relevant for you. If you cannot find them like in this way, then you can write to the authors. Business Source Ultimate, you have to use it. It's like every software tool. It's not very complicated to use. Homework will be to get familiar with this tool. Try to play with that. Try to find keywords. It is important to find the adequate keywords that you can find in the title, if you search by title. Or if you find few research or few articles, you can extend to search in the whole articles in the rubric of Business Source Ultimate. Try to find and to use by author names if you have already identified authors in your domain. So my recommendation is to use Business Source Ultimate and to get familiar with this tool. Also try to storage the data, try to apply what I've shown to you by storaging, by recording the articles, which then can be used to do an extensive literature review, or to do scientometric literature reviews, which we will see in another lecture about when we use VOS Viewer to analyze literature and to do an extended literature review by scientometric measurement tools or scientometric methods.